Big Brother Season 27 is set to air its finale on September 28, 2025, where either Morgan, Vince, or Ashley will be crowned the winner of the CBS show and rewarded with the $750,000 cash prize. As the game neared its finish line, the three finalists grew more and more tense, unsure how everything would play out in the end. The finale would mark the end of a long journey, where the cast members would finally have the opportunity to reunite with their family members and loved ones. During a conversation captured in the live feeds, Morgan asked Vince if his girlfriend, Kelsey, would attend the finale. While Vince was uncertain about her attendance, Morgan hoped she would come. She believed Kelsey would be proud of Vince for his performance in the show, but Vince remained unconvinced. He feared she would be embarrassed by him because he cried and failed miserably at the end. "It is pretty embarrassing. I failed, I collapsed, I cracked in a really bad way. I think you can admit that," he added. But Morgan argued otherwise, assuring Vince he was not a monumental fumble. Big Brother Season 27 fans on X were not pleased with Morgan's inquiry about Kelsey, especially when she was embroiled in a cheatment scandal with Vince. "Kelsey deserves to whack her a few times because this is crazy," a netizen commented. Big Brother fans criticized Morgan for asking about Kelsey after developing a close relationship with Vince, and being roasted for acting like his girlfriend. "Girl, Vince told you about his feelings for you, and you slept in the same bed until the bed was physically restricted from y'all. You can't keep asking ABT his GF. Please be so offended," a fan wrote. "Morgan, enough with Kelsey, do y'all not see this, LOL?" another one commented. "Vinny so knows there's no Kelsey, like man legit tried to spoon you 2 days ago, Morgan, please," an ex-user reacted. Other Big Brother fans expressed a similar sentiment. "Kelsey should ask CBS for a check to come on finale night and tell Vinny and Morgan how she feels. She deserves some money for what she went through this summer," a person wrote. "Woke up to Morgan telling Vince she hopes Kelsey comes to the finale and Vince says, 'I hope so too.' After they were drunk cuddling in the hot tub, gotta be at least 1,000 bodies," another netizen commented. "Why would she be embarrassed? Probably because she watched her BF hang off another woman for months and repeatedly profess his love for her," a fan posted. In another segment of the live feeds, Vince was shown telling Morgan that the win was hers, no matter what. "I'm happy for you. I've been rooting for you all King season. Nobody is more deserving than you," he said. The Big Brother cast member stated that he did not deserve to win the game and was not going to. He felt he hadn't done enough, and his actions significantly harmed his gameplay. That said, Vince praised Morgan for winning competitions and playing a good social game, which he felt would be rewarded. "You deserve it more than anybody, and I'm happy to say that my best friend won this game because I love you like deeply. You understand that?" Vince added. He clarified that he was not campaigning or trying to pitch himself as a contender for the winner's spot, but only saying what he believed to be true. Despite Vince's assurances, Morgan believed he had an equal chance of winning the show. However, after the eviction of Ava Pearl, the remaining 3 Big Brother contestants competed in part 1 of the final head of household competition: Ashley Hollis, Morgan Pope, and Vince Panaro. We can now reveal that Morgan won the challenge, so she will advance directly to part 3, which will play out on live television during Sunday's season finale. Scroll to the bottom of this post to see who won part 2. Shortly after Morgan prevailed, she was spotted on the live feeds trying to comfort a pouting Vince, who was spiraling in the kitchen after losing yet another challenge to his ride or die. "Altogether now, poor Vinny." When Vince complained that he hasn't won a single head of household when it actually mattered, Morgan calmly replied, "We are still in the middle of the HOH comp, by the way. It's 3 parts. You did not lose the competition." The hard-boiled detective from BB Comics said that part 2 of the final HOH will be a crapshoot for him, implying that Ashley, aka Shower Power, will prevail. He added, "It feels very out of my control, because it won't be a physical competition." "You don't know Vince," Morgan fired back. "Everything is out of our control. Are you kidding me? All you do is win," Vince stated emphatically. "You beat me in everything. You don't know how you keep winning? That must be a nice feeling, 'cause I don't know what that's like." Morgan rolled her eyes and told him, "Vince, you've won 4 HOHs. 4 of them. That is insane. And guess what? You won them in different aspects: physical, mental, endurance, strategy. For the record, Vince won the most head of household competitions in season 27 at 4. Morgan is right behind him with 2 HOH wins, not counting her victory in part 1 of the 3-part final comp. In terms of power of veto challenges, Morgan won a leading 5, while Vince never claimed a single one. Part 2 of the final HOH comp took place on Friday afternoon, and Ashley eked out a victory over Vince. Vince's intuition was right. That means Morgan and Ashley will face off in Part 3, which will air live on CBS during Sunday's finale. Following Ashley's victory, Vince sulked in bed, while Ashley did a happy dance in the kitchen. If Morgan ends up winning the last competition of the season, she has promised Vince that she'll take him to the final 2. And if Ashley prevails, she has revealed in the diary room that she'll take Vince with her, since Morgan would be tougher to beat. Game on! Find out who wins the $750,000 grand prize when the season finale of BB27 airs September 28 on CBS. Also that night, host Julie Chun-Moonves will reveal who was named America's Favorite Houseguest, which comes with its own $50,000 check. However, the final weeks of Big Brother Season 27 are showing exactly why this game, and the players are never as predictable as they seem. Between nomination moves, jury pressure, and accusations of rewritten narratives, the live feeds are filled with confrontations. These go beyond physical comps. They're all about perception, loyalty, and who's controlling the storyline. Vince Panaro, now the head of household HOH, for the 4th time this season, hasn't just been winning comps. He's holding the strings in a very delicate part of the game. With just 5 houseguests remaining, Vince, Keanu Soto, Ava Pearl, Morgan Pope, and Ashley Hollis. Every decision is being weighed for its impact on jury perception. Vince and Morgan have discussed not only who to nominate, but also how those nominations will be read by jury members. Even his governance of nominations is action-heavy. This week Vince placed both Keanu and Ava on the block, marking Ava's 3rd nomination under his HOH and, in Keanu's case, a record-setting 8th time in danger. Keanu is one of the most vocal players left in the house, and not just because of comps. He's catching heat for claiming to have thrown competitions for allies. He expects consultations when HOHs make moves and complains when those expectations aren't met. Ashley and Morgan have pushed back, arguing that his claims of betrayal or slight are amplified or even self-serving. He also regretted trusting Vince strongly, especially after learning that Rachel Riley, evicted earlier, was among the few who had never misled him. A recurring theme for Keanu, being burned by whispers of loyalty and choosing wrong when it came to whom he leaned on. Lauren Domingue hasn't fallen into irrelevance. In fact, she's becoming a case study in what it takes to survive when the game starts cutting deep. She's frustrated that Vince didn't hold up promises to ensure her safety. She accuses him of putting her on the block despite assurances to the contrary. Ava's been under fire too, not just for being nominated repeatedly, but also for her perceived lack of independent gameplay. Some in the house believe she's been swayed or controlled by others. With fewer houseguests remaining, there's less margin for error. The live feeds show Vince, Keanu, Morgan, Ashley, and Ava all thinking ahead. They consider, what will the jury think of this move? Who has made promises? Who might look like they played too safely or too strongly? These considerations are shaping nominations, discussions, and even how people are behaving when they know they're being watched. One especially tense moment: Keanu urging Vince to put Morgan straight up in order to preserve respect in the game. Vince hesitates, worried about how that move will look later. It's not just about winning comps. It's about building a narrative that will convince the jury and fans that he's got what it takes. As we head deeper toward Big Brother 27's finale, it's clear that social bonds, promises, and reputations may matter just as much, or more, than physical wins. If Vince continues to dominate comps, will he lose allies? If Keanu keeps calling out narratives, will he make himself a target? And for Lauren, Ava, and Morgan, how they manage both strategic power and personal integrity may decide not just who stays, but how they'll be remembered. In the end, it's not just who wins that counts, it's who played the game people believe in. However, with only 5 players remaining, Big Brother 27 is nearing its conclusion. Though it's still anybody's game, there is one houseguest who has the clearest path to victory: Ashley Hollis. Since the jury phase began, she has steered clear of being a target for eviction. She sat as a pawn for Lauren Dominguez's head of household, but there was no threat of her leaving. And then, during the intense double eviction, her name didn't even come up for consideration as an original nominee or renom. Not only has she not faced the serious threat of eviction since the beginning of the game, but almost every single person in the house going into the night saw her as part of their endgame. The only individual who did not want her in their final three was Kelly Jorgensen, who just so happened to be the first person evicted in the double eviction. Here's how Ashley's managed to be the top player this season. Big Brother has evolved over the past 25 years. With new mechanics and twists being introduced, how they navigate the game has shifted. But at its core, establishing a stellar social game has been crucial to many winners. Some have combined it with an equally strong or stronger challenge record, but if you're not connected to the individuals voting for you, it's a harder battle to plead your case to the jury. For Ashley, her game has been all about social connections. Her ability to stay out of the line of fire while always having a target in front of her, also known as Rachel Riley, has given her a say in big game moves without any blood on her hands. Following Rachel's shocking elimination, it didn't deter her. It actually improved her placement in the game. Everyone wanted to avenge Rachel's elimination, so they kept her number one safe.